Here we have a jar of sweet and sour pickles. We want to determine whether or not the equilibrium pH of these pickles is at the correct level to be cottage food, so 4.6 or lower. What's really important when you're dealing with a chunky food like this, or pickled garlic, or pickled carrots, or pickled beans, is that the acidification gets all the way to the inside of that particular product, the vegetable or fruit that you're pickling. And that's because we want to ensure that the entire product is fully pickled, and that's what makes it legal in cottage food. And we do that 24 hours after it's been jarred, because that's when it should be at the correct level. So in order to do that, we're going to pull out our little machine here. We're going to take some samples out of the jar, throw them in the food processor with just enough liquid. And then we're going to puree the living bejesus out of this. We're going to puree it so it's a really, really, really fine slurry, as finely chopped as it possibly can be. When you think you're good enough, go a little longer. Just for safety's sake, you want a really, really well pulverized puree that you can sample. And this is looking really good. It looks like it's going to have plenty of liquid. So you can see what this looks like once we are kind of to the finished point of that puree. Now we're going to transfer that sample into our little sample jar. I like these 4-ounce canning jars as a sample vessel. They're inexpensive, they're accessible, and they're just the right size to put a good enough sample in so that you can get a good reading. And that you can see this sample has plenty of liquid in it. It's gonna be able to be tested just like this. We're gonna do another example in another video showing you how to sample a pasty product where you have to dilute it. But this one's looking really good. So we want to pull our pH meter in, and if it's turned off, which it probably has by now, we're gonna turn it back on. And again, every meter is a little different, but you want to let it go through its startup phase. You can see on this particular meter, we have that flashing hourglass. It tells us, okay, we're going to let this baby roll until it's happy and feels like it's getting a consistent reading. That hourglass has gone away, so now we're confident that it's reading that water that it's sitting in at 4.5. We always rinse between everything. Rinse between the storage water and the product with distilled water. We put that in, and you can see now that hourglass is flashing again. It's reading 3.7. We're going to let that hourglass keep going, so it popped up to 3.8. And the number below is the temperature, 71 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about what the room temperature was of that product, so that's looking really good. We're getting a good solid reading at 3.8. That's well within the safety zone. So go ahead and record that on your documentation so you have documentation of the measurement of the pH of this product, and you are good to go for sale. Before you put everything away, you also want to remember to rinse your tools, do a good rinse of the probes with distilled water, and then put it into the tap water storage solution while you're waiting to use it later.